Welcome to another episode of Coins Info. Today, we're going to dive into a coin that might seem fairly ordinary at first glance, but has the potential to be quite extraordinary. We're talking about the 1970 to Washington quarter without a mint mark. While this may seem like just another regular coin, in the right condition and with the right features, it can be worth much more than its face value. Let's begin with the basics. The 1970 to Washington quarter was minted in large quantities, with over 500 million of these coins produced that year. A significant portion of these quarters came from the Philadelphia Mint, which, at the time, did not use a mint mark. So, all the 1970 to Washington quarters struck in Philadelphia are considered to be without a mint mark. This is an important point to understand, because when collectors refer to the 1970 to Washington quarter without a mint mark, they are essentially referring to the standard issue from the Philadelphia Mint. Now, just because a coin was produced in large quantities doesn't necessarily mean it holds little value. The value of a coin is determined by several factors, including its condition, any potential errors, and its overall appeal among collectors. Let's take a closer look at how these elements can influence the worth of the 1970 to Washington quarter. First, the condition of the coin plays a pivotal role in determining its value. A coin that's been in circulation for years will usually show signs of wear and tear, like scratches, worn-down surfaces, and fading details. Even if your 1970 to Washington quarter shows some signs of wear or light scratches, don't let that dissuade you. While these coins might be more common in such a state, they still retain some value, especially depending on the degree of wear. However, the real excitement starts when you find a 1970 to Washington quarter in exceptional condition, with crisp, clear details and minimal wear. These coins can be far more valuable than you might think. Well-preserved examples can easily reach between $5,000 to $8,000 or even more, depending on their quality. This shows just how much condition can impact a coin's value. A coin that's been cared for and kept in top condition can be a true gem. But the excitement doesn't stop there. If you happen to own a 1970 to Washington quarter that is in near perfect or uncirculated condition, looking as if it was freshly minted, could be sitting on a valuable piece of history. Coins like this are rare, and when coupled with unique features or errors, they can command even higher prices. Some high-grade examples of the 1970 to Washington quarter have sold for as much as $10,000, especially when they feature rare minting errors, such as a double die or other interesting irregularities. This is a reminder of how much the right combination of condition and rarity can elevate the value of your coin. Now, let's talk about error coins. These are some of the most exciting and valuable varieties of the 1970 to Washington quarter. One of the most sought-after errors is the double die obverse. This occurs when the die used to strike the coin is misaligned, resulting in a doubling effect on the coin's design, particularly on the word Liberty and the date 1972. This type of error is relatively rare and is highly desirable among collectors. A 1970 to Washington quarter with a noticeable double die error can fetch anywhere from $12,000 to $15,000, depending on how prominent the doubling is and the overall quality of the coin. Another error to watch out for is the clipping error. This happens when a portion of the coin's edge is inadvertently trimmed during the minting process, resulting in a jagged, irregular shape. While less common than double die errors, these clipped coins are still highly collectible. Depending on the severity of the clip, a 1970 to Washington quarter with this error could be worth between $16,000 and $20,000 to $1,500. When it comes to rare coins, condition and errors are everything. If you find a 1970 to Washington quarter in nearly perfect condition with a rare error like a double die obverse, you could see the value of your coin soar. In exceptional cases, such coins, especially when graded at a high level by a professional grading service such as PCGS or NGC, can be valued at an astronomical price. Some of the finest examples of the 1970 to Washington quarter with notable errors have sold for as much as $30,000 or even more, depending on the quality of the coin and the specific error present. This significant value difference is due to the rarity of high-quality error coins and the increased demand for unique, well-preserved examples. A scratched or worn 1970 to Washington quarter might only fetch a few dollars, but a rare error coin in excellent condition can turn into a high-value treasure. For collectors, This presents a thrilling opportunity to own a piece of U.S. coinage that holds much more than just its face value. So, how can you make sure you're getting the best value for your 1970 to Washington quarter? The first step is to examine the condition of your coin. A coin that's been well preserved, with sharp details and minimal wear, will always have a higher value than one that's been heavily circulated or damaged. Secondly, if your 1970 to Washington quarter has any errors like a double die or clipping error, be sure to have it professionally evaluated. Even a small mistake in the minting process can significantly boost the value of your coin, especially if it's a rare error that collectors are actively searching for. To summarize, the 1970 to Washington quarter without a mint mark may not seem like a highly valuable coin at first, but when you take into account its condition and the possibility of finding rare errors, it becomes clear that this coin can be a valuable addition to any collection. While most of these coins will still have relatively low value in circulated condition, those in exceptional or uncirculated condition, particularly those with unique features or minting errors, can be worth significantly more, potentially up to $30,000 or more in the right circumstances. If you happen to have one of these quarters, or if you're lucky enough to stumble across a rare error coin, take the time to carefully evaluate its condition and consider getting it professionally graded. Understanding the history, rarity, and market demand for these coins is essential for every collector. The 1970 to Washington quarter could just be waiting for the right conditions to turn it into a treasure that far exceeds its face value. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the 1970 to Washington quarter without a mint mark. If you found this video informative, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to Coins Info for more tips and insights into valuable coins. As always, keep collecting, keep searching, and remember, the next find could be more valuable than you ever imagined.